Hey, welcome back everybody. You're listening to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. I am your host, is Paul Motley, and we have hit another Sunday. So if it's your first time here, then you are going to need to know a few things. First off, we're right in the middle of a affiliate marketing experiment that I've been running. I've been using my own money to do it, and I'm giving you guys the heads up, the results, the nuts and bolts, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything. So if it is your first time here, you might need to go back and listen to a few episodes. So make sure you subscribe, drop a comment or anything, or rating, review, and all that good stuff. But please go back and listen, because then this episode will make sense, right? So let's get into the numbers. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to look for a different way to get exceptionally cheap leads on Facebook. And I know everybody loves free, but sometimes speed costs money and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I decided, right, okay, now I'm fed up with kind of like paying over the odds for Facebook ads and, you know, getting charged $1 or $2 per click, and then only getting like, you know, effectively, by the time someone's gone to a landing page, opted in, the lead costs can go way above like $5 or $6. So I figured, right, there's got to be an easier way. So I used the option lead ads, right? Which means normally that when people click on it, they're not leaving Facebook. They are getting effectively their lead details are getting squirreled away, hidden away inside of Facebook, very difficult to get, and you have to kind of like download them either every hour or as they're coming in. But I connected another piece of software from Connect.io, or a company called Connect Explore from Work at a Cry, which automatically adds those, you know, it's drawing them people out and adding them into my email autoresponder. And as of today, there has been 949 people added to my contact list, right? And in a particular email list that I've got, which I've been using, you know, obviously getting people through. And not only that as well, I've also added another 273 people into my ManyChat Messenger bot list as well. So it's been a pretty decent experiment so far, but doesn't make any money unless you're sending them offers, right? So there's a couple of things that I've learned so far and what I'm going to change up. So initially, everyone that gets put into this email list also gets added to my master follow-up, which is like over 30 emails spread over like a few months. And obviously, during that, I build up trust, I give value and get people to understand who I am and how I can help them and all that good stuff. But obviously there's sprinkled offers in there as well, some of which are reasonably high ticket, paying over $500 commission. So that makes sense. And on average, you think, right, well, if you can, for every one email subscriber, you should be earning $1 per month from that email subscriber if you email your list, yeah? If you don't, it's not just going to automatically happen. So looking at that, it should add an extra $950 per month to my income, which sounds fantastic, right? Is everybody nodding? Yes, I hope you are. Anyway, so back to the point in question. So it's going to take a few weeks before I actually start seeing any return from this because of how I've set it up initially, because they are going through that email autoresponder list, and they will do for the next 60 to 90 days. But one important thing's happened. I had on the lead ad, once they'd finished going through the lead ad itself, there was an option that you can send people to a website. And the website that I chose was a ManyChat growth tool, or URL ref, URL, whatever it is, right? Which then started them on a little flow, asking them a bit about them and all this sort of stuff. And that was great because the actual interaction rate, if you like, was massively high. It was like, let me just check this now. Over the 275 people that have been through it, I've had a read rate of 84% and a click-through rate of 37%, which is pretty darn good, okay, when you compare it to emails, which is great. But I've always tried to maintain you do need to have your own asset, which is why I haven't just gone for trying to build a messenger bot list. I wanted to focus on building the email list. Super important that. And the main reason being is that I logged in late this afternoon and I found out something really weird. Facebook has now blocked my Facebook page from sending messages because it's somehow triggered the fact that it's gone from sending very few messages to sending a lot of messages in a short space of time, which obviously has happened in this case because those leads were only costing me on average about 6 or 7 cents. So instead of like leads costing $5 or $6, the leads have been costing about 5 or 6 cents on average, which is crazy because of course, you know, you can scale to a massive email list based off that. So what have I done? I thought, well, that screwed that. So we're not going to be building anything else on ManyChat, but it is an important lesson to learn for obvious reasons. Now, I'm hoping that I can get the functionality back from Facebook and they're not just going to close it down permanently. But it does highlight that asset thing. You must be building your own list because you don't know what's going to happen to other options for you. So if all I was doing was trying to build up my ManyChat, then I'd be in Quest Street right now because I wouldn't have access to that list. It'd be a nightmare. And I only actually had 3 follow-ups as well. I had the initial welcome where they would get access to my lead magnet. And then after 15 minutes, I basically asked them questions on whether or not they listened to podcasts. And if they didn't, then I would send them to my YouTube channel. Or if they did listen to podcasts, then I would send them to my podcast, right? Simple. And then after 2 hours, I would actually send them back to the lead magnet to make sure they got it. And then after an hour after that, I would have a little sequence, which is sort of like more like a survey, asking them sort of like where they are right now in their journey and with affiliate marketing, what sort of income they're getting right now, the goals that they get, and plus inviting them for a call with me, because I knew that if people go through all this and they get on a call with me, then I can either point them in the right direction, or they might want to get coaching, they might want to join one of my programs or something like that. Okay, so there's monetization on the back end, and that was the goal. But at the moment, that's on pause. It can't happen, right? So what I've done is I've changed that link on my Facebook lead ad now to go directly to where they can actually get the lead magnet that I promised them in the ad. So they're not only going to get emails saying, hey, this is the site you need to go to, blah, 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 but they can also click directly from there as well. And that's made a big difference, especially like over the last few hours as well. So there's been a huge bump in numbers going up there. I mean, the actual opt-in rate on that page, if I look at that for today, give me 1 second, I'm just going to pull it up. I know it's super good anyway. So I'm getting like, where is it? Just going to update for me. I'm doing this live. 85% opt-in. That is because people, to get to my lead magnet, is like a mini membership. So I'm getting 85% of people. Don't forget, these people have already given me their email address, or I already have them on a list, but now they're getting into my world. They're getting into my lead magnet itself, and 85% of those people which landed on the page have actually gone in and got that. So the relationship becomes more meaningful for them, and hopefully that's going to back up and also impact on the emails that I send further down the line, because they've got a huge, and I mean a massive amount of value up front from me directly. There's all these podcasts that they can get access to. There's private interviews that I've had with experts that's, you can't get this stuff anywhere else. So it's like when I did the interviews with people, we did like a freebie thing, and then I said, right, okay, now without skirting around, without the fluff and without the buff and all that sort of stuff, tell me exactly what you would do if you wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And each of them did it. And there's about, I think 10 or 12 interviews where that's happened. So they're getting a lot of information that normally this is the sort of stuff that you'd only get during those people's paid programs. Okay, so there's a lot of value in this lead magnet, right? It's huge. So that's a very positive thing. But like I say, those are the lessons that we've learned so far. And moving forward, well, I could do one or two things. I could lock off the ads now. I haven't spent a fortune on it. I think the most I've spent is about $50, something like that, which is crazy. And I can just let the emails do its thing and just hopefully watch the cash come in over the next couple of months and see how all that pans out. Or I can look at doing something else. And that something else could be a different affiliate product on the front end. So instead of sending them to position A, which is getting direct access, I could send them to an affiliate offer maybe on ClickBank or JVZoo or Warrior Plus. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do there yet. I have 2 segments of ads that I'm sending out to people. Like I said before, if you've listened to the ones, you'll know this, that there is the top tier country ads, and then there's the rest of the world, excluding those top 5 countries, so-called top tier. So it may be that I look at something which is reasonably cheap for people to buy on the front end, because I know that then only a few sales is going to immediately send me into profit. But I'm still not 100% sure, because I'd rather give people more value on the front. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like does this work? Will this work type of thing. So again, this is all experimented. I'm doing the work. I'm pulling my own wallet out, putting my own credit card details in, spending my own money to give you guys hopefully an amazing amount of value, because you're getting to see it as I'm doing it, right? So yeah, I'd love to be able to come back to you tomorrow and say, hey, look, I made $20,000 because I sent it to A, B, and C ClickBank product, and everyone bought it, and it was amazing. That would be a utopic way of moving forward, obviously. But how much value are those people which are opting into my lead magnet in the first place? How much are they getting? Well, okay, yep, they're still going to get access to it via the emails, and I understand that. And I checked my email open rates for the very first email, and at the moment it's standing around 22-23%, which is kind of like what I'd hoped for off the emails themselves. So when I compound that in with the messenger bot, which was going out, great, lovely, that's cool. So I could work more on the subject lines, maybe on the first couple of emails, to try and get more people to open it. Have a few more emails before I put them into my main follow-up to build up that little bit more trust on the front end as well. But on the lead itself, or the lead ad, should I say, do I or do I not send them over to an affiliate offer? And that's kind of the quandary I'm in yet at the moment. I'm still not 100% made up my mind on that one. It might not hurt running a couple of days. I mean, at the end of the day, it's taken 2 days to build up nearly 1,000 new email subscribers, which is crazy when you actually think about it, because if I carried on that vein, it would add 1,500 people. It's not 1,500, it's 15,000 people to my email list in the next 30 days. And something crazy would have to happen if nobody bought anything with 15,000 email addresses. It could be crazy. I'm not recommending anybody do this, but I know it's been suggested before that you could actually set yourself up as a solo ads provider and send other people's offers out and get paid for that. I'm not big on that one myself, and it's probably not something that I want to get into because I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I'm not an expert. There's a guy called Kevin Leaks, which is amazing at it, and I would recommend you go listen to him if that's what you want to go for. But that's not what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just going to probably just upload this now and get my head down, have a think about it again in the morning, and come back to you again tomorrow with what I've decided to do. But for now, like I said, if it's your first time listening, none of this made sense. So please go back and listen to at least the last 7 days of the podcast so you get a full idea. And you'll see by the titles of the actual podcast episodes which ones you need to go for right now. But of course, there's tons of them. I do this every day. So you've got to pick and a choice. You can start right at the beginning if you want and try and catch up with me. Binge listen and see if you can catch up. And join me every day for these podcast episodes where I try and give you guys as much value and as much content that's actionable as possible. Anyway, that is me out for the night, and enjoy.